Hello and welcome to the return of the Disconnected Gamers podcast. Just kidding, we've always been here. It's episode 75, Tuesday, September 20th. Rise of Iron is out. I'm
Oh
one of your
yeah.
hosts, Andrew. With me,
As always, except for one time, your boy Mike.
right? I mean, fuck it. I'm the one who's always making the episodes like delayed by a mile, so you missed one. I've delayed several. Um, which is just
What happens when you work all the time,
I know, right? Like, what is this job thing? Though, you know what? If we can start there, like, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm 3 months into this job. Like technically, like exactly 3 months, and I still don't really have any things that I don't like about it, right? And like, you'd think after 3 months working with all the people that you work with, like, eventually there's gonna be like one of them that you're like, man, I fucking hate this guy.
Basically.
Man, I always hate when I work with this person. I want to sock him right in the jaw. That's not happening, which is
Not
like
that case.
which is awesome. Like, that's really awesome. I
Right?
I
Oh
work
yeah,
at a
no.
I work at a place where I've managed to get three out of the three things you should have in a job: good people, good pay, and good work. I like what I do.
That's
I get paid well for it comparing it to like
comparing, yeah.
what you get paid in Massachusetts and being able to like afford stuff.
Mhm.
And I work with cool people.
Nice. It's always
So
good.
yeah, so that part's really nice. If I could get like, and the only thing that's kind of a bummer right now is that I'm still technically part time, but I've been getting full time
Right.
hours, and now
Hours.
that's unfortunately catching up. And they
Ah.
were like, "Yeah." So it turns out they actually don't like when we schedule you for like nearly 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
So looks like I'm gonna have a little bit more time off in the
Mm,
coming weeks. That said, I have been really trying to get back into content creation. Like, I recorded a couple videos for YouTube, but it's like record them on the Alienware, throw them on a thumb drive to put them on my laptop. But my laptop is now so painfully slow that I'm
ooh.
just like, I can't sit here and do this. So it's killing me because I want to like keep editing and making more videos. And like, anyone who's watched my videos, you know that they're like super basic edits, and it's basically just like pop-ups on screen to give you a little bit more information about the game.
Mhm.
But like, my computer is so slow now. I'm just
Ah.
like, I swear it's hitting that time period where like
That's just pretty
everything is just
much
it's just like everything just starts to get slow. And
so it's on the way out,
it could also
essentially.
be, well, I don't know that it's on the way out. I think it's just that my perception of how slow it is has increased because I work with brand new computers every day.
Oh,
And so
gotcha.
they're all super fast, and then I come
Mm.
home and my computer is not.
Right. It's
And
like,
so I
ah.
and so like, I think that my computer probably isn't any slower than it was before, but my awareness of how slow it is now has increased tenfold.
Right.
Um, but I'm hoping that maybe come October for my birthday, I might just hook myself up with a new laptop. So we were talking about my laptop being
Very.
a piece of junk. And so what I think I'm gonna do is hold out until my birthday in October,
Mhm, mhm.
and maybe
So just
potentially
upgrade
Christmas, and
or
just get a new one, you know.
eh.
But like, the problem is like, I can't, like, in like, I tweeted this the other day. I was like, I cannot keep just spending money on shit
Mm.
because I keep spending money on shit.
Right.
And that's like problematic, right? You can't, like, I make money, which is totally great. I love that I make money. But like, I'm not a millionaire, and so I can't keep just buying stuff.
Right.
So, and like, if we were gonna run down, and granted, I'm sure somebody's sitting listening right now is like, get to PAX, man. What the fuck? Uh, we'll get there. So, I told you the other day my music recording hardware, because like, I've been getting back into playing guitar, and
Nice, nice.
potentially gonna start recording some stuff again. And my friends were like, we should jam out and have like a chill sesh like we used to, and I was like, we should. Uh, so I like busted out all the hardware, and because my brother's room is now a spare bedroom, I was like setting it all up in there, and
Mhm.
I've got like a little mini area for me to like just work,
Nice.
or like record if I wanted to. But turns out the hardware that I use is no longer supported on my operating system. It doesn't work on El Capitan, which is the newest Apple OS.
Mhm.
But I've been on it for probably a year at like easy.
Right.
So I never used the hardware and never realized that it wouldn't work when I upgraded,
Right.
which totally sucks. But the
Yes.
reality is there's
Sucks.
just nothing I can do. The board itself is fairly old, so I guess I've just kind of got to eat it and get a new one.
Which just sucks.
Yeah, because that's around like the one that I'm looking at to replace it, which is effectively the same thing, is $400.
Mm.
So I can't be like, oh, let me drop four hundies on this,
Yeah.
and then be like, oh, and let me get a new computer, which is going to be over $1,000 by the time I'm done with it. And then I'm trying to think if there's what else did I buy that was like fairly major? Nothing really. Like Rise of Iron for $30, but then I bought more soundproofing panels because I was gonna one extend the panels against my wall, which I
Mhm.
did, which is nice, so that when I stream later at night, my talking won't necessarily uh
Oh, like waking anyone up
make as
or
wake anyone up, like, right? So like I probably still like, I don't know, 20% of one wall of my room, and then I was going to do a portion of the other side of it to just kind of balance it out, at least
nice.
get sound away from that corner of my room,
Mhm.
and then use the remainder in the spare bedroom for the studio.
Oh
Because
yeah.
obviously playing a guitar would be way louder. I
Right.
also
Right.
found
Exactly.
out that you can buy like 8x8 um, carpeting panels.
Mhm.
Like they're basically carpet samples. They're like 8 inch by 8 inch squares, and you can just buy them for like a couple bucks a piece. And people use those along the wall as soundproofing material for like studios, as like a quick and dirty way to bang it out.
Good idea.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty clever. So I
Mhm.
may make a trip to Home Depot and be like, I need like 6,000 carpet squares.
Right.
Uh, But it's like these things cost money, and like the soundproofing panels aren't even that. Like that was probably like $40, because they're just little like foam squares basically.
Right.
But it was like, so I bought those. Rise of Iron. Uh, I went out to eat a couple times with friends,
Nice. Nice.
and that's not cheap.
No.
Uh, and then it's like, and now I'm just like thinking of like things I want to buy, and it's like, I need to get a new laptop for sure.
Right.
I need to get a new mixing board at some point. I want to go get my car fixed
Oh
because
yeah. You're just coming
winter's
up.
coming, and I need my I need the all wheel drive back. Like I
Right.
can't, for the entirety of the summer, driving in rear wheel is fine, but like I need to get that fixed so I
Yeah.
have that back.
Mhm.
And that is more cumbersome because like I don't have a car to like use in the interim.
Mhm.
But with this potential like not having work a few days a week more than I used to, I've been like trying to like schedule a time where I can just like drop off my car and be like, you can have it for 4 days, but I need it back after 4 days.
Right. Yeah.
On the off chance it takes too long.
Mhm.
So that's where that situation is. So it's just like there's like a lot of things that I would like to do, and like now I just have to kind of whittle it down and be like, what do I actually need to spend money on?
Right. Versus, I want that, but I don't need it.
Right. Like I need the laptop would be helpful to
Mhm.
do better, to just well, I think it would just make me more inclined to create
Great.
content because
Right.
like if I sit and I want to edit and it's going to take for fucking ever.
Yeah. So you're like,
Yeah, I'm just like
but if you have something
gross.
that's like buttery smooth, you're like, oh, okay, I'll give
Yeah,
homework
I
another
can work with
shot.
I'll give Omek another shot, right.
Yeah.
Uh it's like, oh man, I can stream on my alpha so easily that like that's why for the most part all I do is stream right now,
Yeah.
because I'm just like, oh, I can throw this thing on and stream and no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
so it's so easy for me to stream, so I stream a lot more than I used to. Like
More
I'd
than
been
that.
streaming a couple nights in a row, and I was gonna stream Rise of Iron last night, and I was out at my brother's till like 1.
Hmm.
I watched London Has Fallen, like the
The
sequel ish to Olympus Has Fallen with Gerard Butler and the guy from Thank You for Smoking.
yeah.
Yeah, it's as action packed as one would believe.
Hmm.
Like it's one of those things where like you're like the movie is not like the greatest, but
Hmm.
it's fun because it's just a lot of him killing people, like like being a badass. So you're just like, yeah, I can get on with this. Um, and I got home at like 1 and was like, fuck yeah, Rise of Iron, it's Tuesday. And then everyone was like, yeah, it launches at 2 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. Pacific. And I was like, that's 5 a.m., guys.
Yep.
I was like, that's 4 hours from now. And everyone was like, who's going to call me to wake me up at,
Right.
at like 5 a.m.? And I was like, not me. And I was like, I'll try and stay up. And so like I left my TV on and lights on in my room thinking that would like prevent me from falling
Right. Nope.
asleep.
Passed out.
Nope, passed out. Woke up at 7 a.m. and was just like, you know what? Nope, doesn't matter. I'm
Right.
already behind the curve,
Like, nah.
and I still haven't even played it. Like right now, it's almost 2
Well,
o'clock,
I've
and
seen a whole bunch of
I
people
hadn't even.
posting that they can't even get on the game, so that's why I'm glad
Oh,
I'm
well,
getting
there
it
you go.
Thursday. By then, I'd hope
Right.
the issues are ironed out. No pun intended.
Oh,
Oh,
fucking slick. Um, yeah. But so to get to the main topic of events, post PAX. So PAX was really fun. It was in Seattle. Met Avery,
oh, snaps.
which was awesome. Finally, Ockdraman, the name
Nice.
you know, the name you love. Uh, I mean, I feel like we've known each other for like five. It's gonna be like 5 years, like that we've all
At
known
least a
each
good,
other.
yeah.
And like I finally met Cody and CJ this past summer,
Nice, nice.
and then I met Avery. I've met Josh and Esteban. It's like and I've met Sarah
Oh,
and
yeah,
Dave.
yep.
I've met Nicole,
Nicole, I
obviously.
think you, JF.
I've met JF, right? JF from Argentina.
Yeah.
Um, I met Amy from Leaping Tiger. She's from New Zealand, but I met her at E3. But
Three.
then we hung out at PAX.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Um, my boy Liger and Dubstash, Destiny streamers, they were on the panel that we did.
It's
And
nice.
Hassan from Twitch, and then Vio, who's Trust the Cake on. She's Trust the Cake on Twitter, but her Twitch is Vio, Vio.
Mm.
Um, and I think it's short for Violet, but I'm not 100% on that. And so we did. I moderated 2 panels. Both went really well. We did the Destiny panel, and they were back to back, which was kind of a bummer because like I wanted to stay and talk to people at like the Destiny one, and I was like, hey, would love to stay and chat, but I actually have to skedaddle to my next panel, which is a weird thing to say.
Right?
And so like bolted over there, got set up for that one, and we did the positivity panel. It went really well. It was all new people. It was nobody that had been to the first one besides myself, Steven from Stack Up, and Craig from Able Gamers,
Hmm.
because obviously they were on the panel with us,
Right.
like with me last time. So, and it was really good. Like I think that panel resonated really well. And then a
Nice.
couple people had like tweeted at me afterwards and they were like quoting things I had said about like just being positive in general, and I was like, that's actually like really it's like I was like kind of taken back that like something I said
Hmm.
was like struck a note with them, that they were like tweeting like specifically like this is something that like I think we all need to. And basically where it came from
Hmm.
was that he was during the Q&A, and one of the people asked a question, and it was like, what do we do about the people who um, think that video games are a joke, or think that their kids shouldn't be playing video games, and all this stuff. And basically my response was the negative interpretations of video gaming and fighting that type of behavior, like parents who think that video games will rot their kids' brain. I was like, that falls on us
Mhm.
to stop. Like
Right.
like when someone has that opinion of video games or that attitude towards it, like we have to stop them and be like, do you understand all these other things that video games do? I was like, think about it from the two people sitting up here with me. I was like, you've got Steve from Stack Up who's using video gaming and that culture to help rehabilitate soldiers
Hmm.
who've come back from being overseas, and to give the soldiers who are overseas the opportunity
Opportunity.
to like wind down just a little and like take the edge off of being in a war zone.
Hmm.
Like a little bit of a reminder of home and things like that. And then you've got able gamers who are helping people who are disabled be a part of an awesome community. I was like, so I'm like, these people need to understand that it's not just sitting in front of a TV and mashing buttons and
Hmm.
quote rotting your brain. Like,
Right.
you know, when you look at games like Minecraft and Terraria, which have like incredible building and engineering correlations to them because of
Mhm.
like how people build switches and tracks and
Yeah.
construction, like it's connects in a digital world.
Right.
And it's like if you would be okay with your kids playing with Legos, Mega Blocks, Connects, whatever,
Hmm.
like there should be no reason that Minecraft is not on that table,
No.
you
Yeah.
know.
Exactly.
um and that expands obviously to tons of games that allow for like sandbox type experiences. But like just the fact that like just because it's a video game doesn't mean there is not a learning opportunity,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
And one of the things that like I also said to them, I was like, a lot of these people also don't understand that like we're uh Steve had said it during the panel, and he was like, the movie industry is a $10 billion a year industry,
Hmm.
and he said video games are on track to be $100 billion a year industry in the next like few years or something, I think.
Hmm.
So it's he was like, so if you look at it from that perspective, video games outsell movies a lot.
Yeah.
So if you would be okay with if you would be okay with watching movies and acting and, you know, being a key grip or something, like there should be no reason that you wouldn't want your kids to entertain the idea of working in the gaming industry if that's something they're passionate about.
Hmm.
So that like but it was the line about like that falls on us, because I was like, it is, I was like, ultimately it is our responsibility. I was
Yeah.
like,
No. Exactly.
we are the ones who have to sit there and be like, listen, whether or not you have this opinion of video games, it's wrong. And then I told a story about a friend of mine who's a cop, and I was like, yeah, he'd asked me like what I was up to, and I said I was going to PAX, and then he was like, oh, you know, my kid thankfully doesn't play that stuff, you know, because he's out working on his car or whatever. And I was like, oh, and then I started telling him about the different organizations and the different things that like people do in like Twitch streaming and YouTube and all that stuff, and he was like, oh wow. And I was like, yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
one of my
It's
friends makes he makes a full-time living just playing video games and interacting with
hmm.
people.
Yeah.
I was like, and that was one of the things I said during the panel too. I was like, there's a lot of people who like to pick on the gaming industry. I'm like, but there are tons of people in the gaming industry I know that probably make a lot more money than them. I was like,
Right.
and that was like, and that extends through like all walks of the industry, like PR people, um, you know, developers, public relations, you know, YouTubers and Twitch streamers alike. Like, you can make a lot of money if you want, you know, and it doesn't even have to be, you know, video gaming in the sense that there are creative streamers. There are people who stream their game development, you know, Slick Entertainment, right? They're making Viking Squad every Wednesday. They stream the development
Yep.
on Twitch. And tons of people want to watch because it's neat to see a game be made.
Yeah.
So that was you know, and then the Destiny panel, to backtrack because that was the first one, was really cool. And basically it was just a lot of, you know, community building
Hmm.
and experiences that, you know, everybody shared through Destiny, in the sense that like, why are we hooked on this game, why do people flock to this game,
Hmm.
you know. And it's less about the game and more about the community. In was kind of like the overarching theme was like, the people that you're playing with are awesome, and that makes
It's
the
true.
game, you know, is it the best multiplayer game, is it the best shooter, does it have the best graphics, does it have like, are there things that nobody likes, you know, that people don't like about it,
Mhm.
sure, but like the
Right.
people that you're playing with make the game.
Hmm.
um so that was cool. In terms of things that I saw, where do I begin? There was a lot of stuff. I mean, it was just like so many games, and it's one of those things where like I didn't take nearly as many appointments as I thought I did,
Right.
but it still turned out to be a lot.
Dang.
Um, so I'll try and like rattle my brain and start from where like from some point of where I can. So I think the first thing that I ended up scheduling to see was the New Bloods, which is Dave Oshry's. Um, that's his studio, and so he's publishing a ton of games. They did Super Galaxy Squadron, the shmup.
Mhm.
They are working now with a developer whose name eludes me. I think it begins. I think his name is Paul, and then his last name I can't pronounce. But called Dusk, and it's basically like Quake on steroids with
Ooh. Okay.
like think Quake 1
Hmm.
PC visuals, gameplay aesthetics,
Yeah.
and the story is very kind of Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But like it plays like old school Quake shooter, but at like,
Hmm.
a very good frame rate, but it's, that kind of like it's the aesthetic of Quake. And you can actually res it down so that it looks just like Quake would have looked on like a Packard Bell.
Dang. Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Um they're also doing Laser Type, which is the VR typing
Mhm.
game, which dude, I need a VR headset for this. Like, and that's like crazy to say that like I want a VR headset for a typing game, but it was actually like
It's actually
fun.
really fun.
Like if this needs to be in schools, cause fuck
Hmm.
Mavis Bacon, all right? Like, like laser type kids would be thrilled to go to, like, kids are probably already thrilled to go to computer class now, but like,
Mhm.
dude, if I knew I was going to play laser type, I'd be like, I like need to go to class early because I'm gonna throw
Right.
on the VR headset, and obviously like there's certainly a cost to that.
Yeah.
Like every
Yeah.
school's not gonna go buy like 10 Vives, but uh, like it's like the learning potential for that game,
Oh,
aside from the fact
it's
that it is kind of just stupid fun, because basically you're using the headset and you're looking left and right, and words are flying at you, and you have to look at the word and then type it. But because you can't look at your keyboard because you're wearing a headset,
mhm. Oh, you're going
um,
off like essentially almost
memory.
memory. Yeah, like muscle
Yeah,
memory, I
which
guess
is
almost.
muscle memory of like knowing where the keys are, right? So I'm like making
Oh
sure like when I
yeah.
put the headset on, I'm like, where are my home keys?
Right.
And there's a like if you look down, there's a virtual reality keyboard that as you press letters, you'll know where they are. But then you've got to look back up and type
Type
them.
the word.
You got to
Yeah.
type the word correctly.
Ah.
And then the word explodes, and then you just keep, and so basically you just keep looking like left and right to spell the different words as they're coming at you, and like some of them are like it, and then it's like polish, and then it's, you know resume or whatever, and then it's like the words start getting harder and they start coming faster.
Faster. Ah.
um but it was a lot of fun. Like
That
I actually
sounds
really
pretty
enjoyed
cool.
it. And then the other game that they were showing was Tonight We Riot,
Mhm.
which is like Pikmin, but Pikmin meets I think the way that he described it was like Pikmin meets V for Vendetta, because basically, like, what you're doing is
Mm.
you're liberating all these people from oppressive
Mhm.
workplaces, and then they come out and they flock with you, and they're like groups that attack the bad guy
Okay.
peoples, which are
Right. Right.
basically like the bosses of your building,
Mhm.
and you can like punch them, throw Molotovs, but like basically you're one giant mob of people, and the more businesses you like liberate from their shitty jobs
Mhm.
help you,
Nice.
hence the like Pikmin kind of
Pikmin.
thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, as your character dies, you just become another one.
Huh. That sounds fun.
So I was like, that's like definitely a very much you got to play that with a friend type of thing. Like I feel like playing solo
Does it have a
wouldn't.
form of multiplayer?
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Yep.
sweet.
I can't remember if it was local or online, but
Is
yeah,
it
I
PC only or both console and PC?
pretty sure it's PC
PC. All right.
to start. To start,
I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
yeah. Played a and so that was, yes, that was the New Bloods, and then I'm trying to think of like what else I want to go in order, but
Hmm.
there's just no way. So I'm just gonna move to Riverbond, which Riverbond is like it's voxel based, so it's like it's 8-bit squares, but basically like when you like knock out a tree, it explodes into like a million little blocks. Trying to think of any game that we've played that's like think of like the way Resogun is, where like everything is a
Hmm.
square, but then it explodes into lots of smaller squares,
Yeah.
and everything basically remains a small square as it like is as it's in effect in the like the game itself.
Mhm.
That's kind of like what voxel is, I think. Uh, but it's a third person perspective, and it's very much like an RPG,
Hmm.
and
Interesting.
you're like going around and most everything is destructible, and you do all these like little quests. It's Zelda-ish but not at the same time.
Hmm.
And you can have like friends pop in and play with you,
Huh.
but that's going to be console and PC, and I'm super excited about it because I thought it was a lot of fun. I can't remember if it was local or online, and I think it was at the moment local
It's local.
because netcode and building that with a small team is just really hard, and that I
Yeah.
totally understand. From the indie developer standpoint, I understand the the issue with trying to make a game playable online because you like that falls on you to build the netcode,
Hmm.
and that's kind of a pain in the butt. I played Potions, which that was
Nice. Yep.
Renee Gitten's game, the one who she was on the
Yep.
podcast.
Yep. Yep.
So I saw the updated version of the game, very smooth. A lot of new character animations,
Nice.
some new stuff with the crafting of potions. Went through the demo, played that. That is a really fun game, and I think like I think that's a game you've got to play to understand because like it's an RPG totally, but there's a part of it where you're not really always trying to fight your way out of things.
Yeah.
And in many cases like you're trying to use the potions to cause the enemies to do something on their own that helps you
Hmm.
get through certain areas.
Interesting.
And like you can't craft on the go, so like you've got to kind of pack your kit out with potions you think you might need, and then kind of hope that that gives you the opportunity to make it
Hmm.
through a certain section before you just kind of have to like jump back to uh, like home base where your grandmother is and the potion mixing station is.
Right. It's got to plan
So
it
that
out
was
very,
cool.
very well.
Yeah, like, and I'm sure the more you play the game, you'll probably get better at it. And obviously, like, I play like one section of the demo. Like, who knows? Maybe that
Right. Yeah.
changes in the future, things like that. But so that was cool. I was really
Nice.
excited to see that, see the progress that it's made. Because that's always like one of my favorite things about going to PAX is like seeing
Seeing the
games that you saw
progress.
before and seeing, yeah, like in a short year, like what's changed and how much
Hmm.
better games have got. So I also saw uh, ADHD, a dual hand disaster tracker.
Hmm.
God, he's the name for this game is so. He's got the. I gotta like. I gotta like look it up because a dual hand disaster tracker is the name
Okay.
of it, and this is the one that I feel like I told you about this. This is the one where there's two. You're looking at two screens,
Hmm.
and on the left hand side it's a your ship is at the bottom and you scroll left and right with the left stick of your DualShock and
Hmm.
fire with your L1s, and on the right hand side of the screen you're controlling a ship in third person perspective with your right stick and
Hmm.
not firing at things but just simply avoiding things.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, so basically you're doing two things
At
at the same
once.
time on like on the same two screens
Oh
with
man,
one controller.
that's oh.
And basically, here's the kicker, right? So every ship you don't destroy that's passing down to
Hmm.
you on the left hand side ends up in the environment in the right hand side where
Oh
you are
snaps.
fighting all those things. So, like, if you pay attention to one side too much and you don't pay attention to the other side, like, that will not help you well.
Ooh.
But
I don't
so
know
that's
about that.
so
I
that
don't
was
know if I'm
cool,
about
and
that life.
so I it was just fun. I got to see. I saw that at PAX East, and I don't remember if I just happened to. I can't remember how like I bumped into him, but I was just like passing by and saw it and was like, "Holy sweet!" Like this game is fucking awesome. Like I can't. I suck at it, but
Hmm.
it's really awesome. And so he was at the Indies at 6 event, which basically is a. It's outside of PAX. It's open to the public. You don't need a PAX badge. You don't need a badge at all,
Nice.
and basically like they rented out I think it was like an art gallery or something, and they rented it out, and all these different indie devs set up their games, and so it was like a mini PAX. And the
Nice.
idea is that it's way less expensive for them, and you're close enough in proximity to PAX that it took like 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, to walk up to where it was from the expo hall. So there's no reason not to go see these games. And so he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be here. Like, if you can come by, that'd be awesome." And I was like, "No, dude, I'm coming by. Like, I'm
Right.
not coming by. Like, because I want to see the game, and two, I want to see my bud and hang out and see what's up." So I get there and we're chatting or whatever, and I'm watching somebody else play the game, and I was like, "Oh, that's totally new. That didn't exist in the other one." And he was like, "How did you remember that?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm like, it's just a thing that I have, like." And so then I got to start playing the game, and I was like, "Oh, that's new." I was like, "That's definitely different."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "And hey, out of curiosity, like, did you add this to the stuff, because that definitely looks." And he literally stopped and was like, "How do you remember things that have changed in a year?" He's like, "You didn't see the game, right? Like, this isn't." He was like, "You're not punking me. Like, you didn't send somebody in to look at the game, right?" And I was like, "No, I definitely just pick up on things.
Mhm.
Like, it's a thing that I do that I would say that I'm pretty good at, with
Right.
being like an observationist, that which isn't a word, but uh seeing like changes in people's games." And I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "This is totally different. Like, this is definitely different." I was like, "It's awesome. It looks really good. It plays super well." Um, and so I was like really, really psyched to see the progress on that game. There is still going to be a Vita version as well, like it's PS4 Vita,
Nice.
Steam,
Nice.
etc. So um, it's just really, really cool. It's a fun, like, it's a super fun game. I'm buying it no matter what. But and I'm gonna be terrible at it, but it's really cool. So the way you earn points is you have to destroy things on the left hand side,
Mhm.
and then they will show up in the area of the right hand side, and you've got to go fly over to them and wait and like hover in the proximity of them to collect them.
Hmm.
And after you collect a certain amount, it multiplies however many things you've picked up times the score you have from killing things on the left hand side,
Hmm.
and then you extract out. And so if you play your cards right and you survive a really long time, you can
You can
extract out
extract.
and multiply, and your multiplier is like absurd, so you get a ton of points. If
Nice.
you die, you get nothing.
Oh.
If you extract with nothing, it multiplies by 0 and you get nothing.
Oh dang.
So like there's that balance of like, do I risk this to get a reward, or do I just play it safe and extract while I have like a certain amount of points?
Right.
So like my first go, I played and I got wrecked, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Mhm.
And then the next time I played, I played again. I got like 7 million points,
Dang.
which put me in second in his like highest score of the day.
Oh shit.
And I was like, and he was like, "Damn!" And I was like, "I didn't remember being this good at this game." And so that was kind of fun. But
Nice.
so that was like, so that, and that like that's just a really fun game, and I think I'm gonna have fun streaming it because I think people will be entertained by it. And there is some Twitch. He had some Twitch integration in it at PAX,
Mhm.
where like basically like people could flip the controls on you while you're
Uh.
playing, which would totally, I would be like, "Fuck it, I'm done." But I think like that'll be fun, to have the
Yeah.
Twitch interaction going. Um, what else? What else? What else? Obviously, Viking Squad, Slick Entertainment. Saw those guys. I'm still super psyched for this game, and now have the opportunity to actually like check it out on my own time,
Nice.
cause the hookups be real, and provide some feedback on like how the game plays, because I don't have like a beast PC, so there's an opportunity to be like, well, hey, look, turns out it runs crispy smooth, silky smooth. Crispy smooth is not a thing. It runs silky smooth on my Alienware, so that part's nice.
Nice.
Uh, and then let's see, Graceful Explosion Machine. So Mobine at Vertex Pop. So remember, We Are
We Are
Doomed.
Doomed. Yeah.
Yes. So Graceful Explosion Machine is the next game,
Oh,
and
snaps.
it's like We Are Doomed in terms of the aesthetic and the way that like the game plays,
Mhm.
but it's very much like an infinite loop Gradius,
Hmm.
where like you're in an environment that you can, if you just travel left, you'll just keep circling the same environment.
Yeah.
Like it's not like there's no wall to stop you from going one way to the other. Like you just keep looping through the same thing, and then enemies spawn, and you kill the enemies, and you have 4 different weapons that you build up as you play.
Mhm.
And then the enemies change, and the enemies come at you faster, more enemies, etc. And each weapon is based on kind of like escaping a certain interaction. So like if you get swarmed by enemies, you have like an energy sword that basically just swirls around your ship
Hmm.
to kill those guys so that you don't immediately get
The wrecked.
overrun. Yeah, basically.
Nice.
You've got like a sniper beam that's basically to like wipe out really, really strong enemies. You've got like your regular blaster, and then I believe the 4th weapon in your arsenal is homing missiles. So like if it's like a group of enemies and you just want to kind of take them all out, just homing missiles.
Nice.
But that was really fun. And same thing, right? I was playing a game with Mobine and watching somebody else play, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "That's new," and he was like, "Yeah, it is. It is new. That's really awesome that you saw that." And I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "And you changed the?" I was like, "You changed the HUD. Like that's different." And didn't it used to flash a message across the like the center of the screen? And he was like, "It did." And then I changed it because a lot of people. And I was like, "Yeah, good call." Because it used to like pop right in the middle of the screen, and it kind of like
Oh,
made
impaired
made it
your.
hard for you to kind of, well, it just kind of took you out of like being like, oh crap, there's a million enemies, what do I do,
Gotcha.
where do I go, how do I learn? So that was, but that, like, again, same thing, super super clean looking. Gonna be really fun, gonna be excited to get in on the leaderboards for that. And because like Auburn RDM, who's a Twitter buddy,
Mhm.
and I think he was an MVP as well, uh he's still in like the top 10 on We Are Doomed
Dang.
on PC and Steam, and like I think I'm in like 20, between 20 and 30, and I'm like, geez, like I cannot get past certain points in We Are Doomed. Like how did you do that? There were a couple other MVPs that had really high scores too for a while. I should go back and double check and see who's still up there. Uh, gonna be saying a lot. I played Killstrain, which I mean obviously like I have it on my computer, but
Killstream,
that was what
yeah.
Sony had Killstrain there. They had Drawn to Death,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is I'm just not a big fan of Drawn to Death.
Yeah,
It
Jaffe's
doesn't.
game or whatever. Jaffe's
Yeah,
game.
like it just doesn't
It's
like, and I know, and Icy loves it, but like I'm just not I don't know, it just doesn't grab
yeah, I'm
me.
not a fan either. Yeah.
So let's see. I'm trying to like go through business cards so I can run through. All right, so I talked about potions, so I can put that business card down. So I saw. Oh man, these are all like Australian devs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw this game called Hacknet.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, like the game is set up where you are a hacker.
Ooh.
And so like you're like you get a message on your computer, and it's like, hey, if you're reading this, I'm dead, but I need you to like try and figure out who killed me. And then it
Hmm.
like teaches you how to hack but not
Interesting.
like
Not
it's
like
they're
legit
real
hacking.
they're real hacking scripts and stuff that you're running, but obviously you're
Ah,
playing a game.
right.
So like it's
Yeah.
the code that you're typing is somewhat legitimate
Hmm.
uh, in terms of like what it's doing, but obviously like I'm not 100% on how any of that stuff works.
Right.
But like that was like really fun, and I kind of had a little fun playing that. That was cool.
Nice.
So
Assuming that's PC only.
yeah, uh, according to the card that I'm looking at, yeah. Terminal-based hacking simulator for PC. Yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Um, Dungeon League. That was really fun. That is PC as well, but that's like I'm trying to think of what game it would be. It's like Mario Party ish in the sense that like it's a local multiplayer.
Mhm.
It's up to I think you can have up to 8 people, but we played with just 4, and you or maybe it's just 4. I don't know. I could be wrong. And basically, like you're in this dungeon, and the maps change each round, and there's different game types. So like one of them is like a
Oh,
capture the flag type.
okay.
One of them is a just kill your friends, like kill your friends. But like then there's like 2 versus 2. So like capture the flag is like a 2v2. But while you're fighting each other, there's also enemies in the map that are spawning.
Okay.
So like you're in this dungeon trying to kill your friend, but there's also like an enemy,
Trying to
and
kill
it
you.
like an NPC enemy trying to kill you, and it's just like, hey man, attack him. He's got the flag. There's also like I think it's like hold the eye, and so like as you hold the eye, you earn points, but as you hold the eye, it hurts you.
Hmm.
So basically, you hold it until you die, and then hope that
You
your
got the most
teammate picks it
points.
up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then hope your teammate gets it, and like that's just like it's a time based thing.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, like it was actually like really really fun, and it's like a party game, so you're gonna want to play with friends.
Mhm.
Um, and Surprise Attack is a publisher, and they work with all these different devs, but they're all as far as I know out of Australia.
Hmm.
I think that's the overarching theme. So one of the other games that they're making is called Orwell, and so I don't know if you've seen this one, but this is the one where basically like you get a job working for the government, and your job is to like comb social medias of people and
Okay, I
select.
think I've heard of it.
Yeah, and you like pick information to like be like this person I think is a thief, and
Mhm.
then like the system reacts based on that. And
Huh.
then like at the end of the trailer, it was like you were doing this, and then somebody else was watching what you were doing,
Hmm.
and then it was like this kind of everyone's watching, Big Brother is watching you type of thing. And it's cool because it's like based on the information you choose to mark as like relevant affects the way the game goes through.
Hmm.
So that was really cool. Got to see that. And then they're the ones. Well, they are the ones. Samurai Punk is the ones that made Screen Sheet, but it's published by Surprise Attack. So
Oh, okay.
and like Orwell is Osmotic Studios. I should probably make sure. Dungeon League is 8-bit as opposed to 8-bit. Oh, that's clever.
Oh. Huh.
Hacknet is Team Fractal Alligator. I want to make sure that I at least make sure that to mention the actual dev's name since I have it on this information. One of the other games they had though was called Blind,
Mhm.
and so it's a VR game where you use the like VR joysticks to bang a walking stick,
Hmm.
and as you hit the walking stick, it pings like the ground, and then you like see
So
everything
you
in
can see,
kind of a
yeah,
wireframe, in like a wireframe method. And the whole idea is that your character is
it's
blind,
blind.
and you're in this room in like a house,
Hmm.
and you have to like figure out what happened to you, because I think someone said you wake up after an accident and you're blind,
Hmm.
but you're in this house and you don't know exactly what's going on, and so you're like tapping the stick to figure out where you are and find things
Mm.
and interact with stuff. Um, and it's not like it's. I don't recall them mentioning that it was like a scary game by any means, but like it's suspenseful in the sense that like you don't always know what's happening, so you're trying to figure things out.
Hmm.
I didn't get a chance to play it because there was a pretty solid line, but it looked really cool.
Nice.
And in terms of a VR experience, pretty damn unique. Not seeing a whole lot of other people kind of going with that experiential route in
Hmm.
terms of a VR experience, where like
Right.
you are
So
literally
different.
blind and like you have to be tapping to see.
Yeah.
Um, which really kind of like in terms of immersion, I have to imagine it's pretty
It's
crazy to
yeah.
be have goggles strapped to your face and then be like, I can't see anything, and then be
Right.
like, tap. Oh, okay, I can see again.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Uh, yeah, so that was really cool. Trying to think. Dual universe. I saw that. That's pretty cool. That is still in alpha early stages, but imagine trying to think. I don't play a lot of MMOs, but imagine a ginormous actual universe like out in space
Hmm.
where everyone who's playing this game is actually in the same environment. Like there's no servers, there's no uh, separate places, like there's no lobbies or
So
anything like
essentially,
that.
it's an
Literally,
MMO, but without servers,
correct.
or
Like
without
everyone
multiple
is,
servers. Rather, it's just
yeah,
one.
like everyone is literally interacting in the same. But you're all basically in the same like area, like because the game is very not condensed, like it's massive, but like you all start on like the same handful of planets,
Hmm.
and in the sense of very like a Minecraft-ish type situation,
Hmm.
you can take stuff from the
Oh, you can
uh,
craft and
where you are and craft other things.
yeah.
And so what I learned was there is eventually going to be a way to craft like a warp portal,
Hmm.
but that will require the help of multiple people. So like
Ah.
all these people have to work together if they actually want to like build this thing
Hmm.
and then try and go to like other places. Which then would expand the game to a level of like just ridiculousness.
Hmm.
But like you can, so in the version he showed me, like there was like so we left one planet, we went to the space station, we flew around the space station, went inside the space station, and then kind of just like explored the environment, built a few things just to kind of show um, that mechanic and stuff. And I think for people who like MMOs and that kind of like group coordination, building, traveling type things, I think that's going to be a hit for them. Just because, like, for me,
Nice.
it's not super enticing because
Hmm.
games like that where like I can't necessarily dedicate enough time to it, I think I would be lost.
Hmm.
The only benefit being that since you're always playing in the same world and everyone's also in the same world, you will potentially run into the same people,
It's true.
more often than not, because where else are they going to be, right?
Hmm.
And in that sense, anything you've built or created also exists because it's always in the same place, right?
Hmm.
Unless somebody takes it,
So
destroys
yeah,
it,
right.
whatever.
Oh
Um,
shit.
so that was fun. That's like from the expansiveness of what the game is. I think that's gonna hit really well with some people who like those games.
Nice.
The Eve Online type.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Eve
Uh,
Online.
I'm trying to think. What else did I play? I watched a lot of Gang Beasts. Didn't get to
I
play.
was gonna say, yeah, no rematches.
No rematch. I
Uh,
did see Greg though. I did. I did. I saw Greg a few
briefly
times.
ran into him, or
Bumped into him at on the show floor, and then went to the Square Enix party
nice.
and took a picture with him. That's my Twitter header is now that picture
Right, right,
that we
right.
took, and then we talked for like I don't know 5 or 10 minutes just about
Nice.
how things were going, and I was telling him how like you know the best like one of the best friends helped me get my job because he referred me, and then I got the job, and the job is awesome. Um, so we talked about that for a little bit. So he was excited to hear that because obviously, like the best friend, the kind of funny best friends that's an important thing to the guys, and so
Mhm.
hearing that like a kind of funny best friend helped me get a job
Right.
was, that's awesome.
Yeah, super
It's awesome
awesome.
for me too because it's like a stranger is willing to vouch for me to get a
Mhm.
job,
Right.
Um, trying to think. Oh, remember Runbow?
Yeah.
It's coming out on the new 3DS, Runbow Pocket.
Nice.
So now I need a new 3DS. So add that to the list of things I need.
Eh,
Laptop, sound recording stuff. I need a 3DS. It has to be the new 3DS.
yeah, the new
Um,
3DS.
and then it's like, so I'm like, oh right, Pokemon Moon and Sun.
Oh
So I
yeah.
gotta get the bundle.
Bundle.
Uh,
Is there a bundle? Because I've only seen just the new 3DS, but it does not come with the game. It's just a 3DS.
wait, what? It doesn't come with the game?
No, it's just the 3DS.
No.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I'm going to
Last
GameStop right
last
now.
I
I'm
checked,
going to
it
GameStop.
said it's just the 3DS. There is no. I've seen a bundle that's
Damn
the
it.
normal 3DS that comes with Sun and Moon, but the new 3DS that's the themed one. It's just the 3DS. There's no game.
Nintendo new 3DS XL Pokemon Soul Galio Lunala Black Edition. Okay. Next gen. It's pretty sweet looking 3DS too.
Hmm. Yeah, I've got the
Controls.
Triforce one.
Amiibo support. AC adapter sold separately. Thanks. What's included? Nintendo hardware, stylus, SD card, 6 AR cards, quick start manual. What?
Yep, no game. No game.
What?
Yep.
Important information. Pokemon Sun and Moon games sold separately. What is this?
Yep. But there is a
Why?
bundle that's like over what 200 something like that that does come with both Sun and Moon though, but it's the regular 3DS, not the new regular 3DS XL, not the themed one.
Wolf.
Yeah,
Damn it.
fuck you, Nintendo.
Because I want, like, that's. Ugh.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what,
exactly.
though? Did you see the Galaxy 3DS?
Oh yeah,
That looks sick.
that one's dope. That
I
one's
need
dope.
that. I need that. Alright, well, if it doesn't come with Pokemon, then I guess I can just get whichever one I want.
Yep.
I can't believe it doesn't come with the damn game, though.
Yeah, you would think.
Like, I would totally have walked in and bought it and got home and been like, oh, I forgot to get an AC adapter. And it doesn't come with the game? Like,
Yep.
that's annoying.
Yeah. Thanks, Nintendo.
Thanks, Obama. It's your fault. That's super disappointing.
Hmm.
Because it comes out like right around my birthday too.
Yep.
When does Moon come out?
Same thing. Both Sun and Moon come out
Oh,
together. Yeah. Put this together, and I'm just gonna
20.
get both because I'm dumb like that. Fucking trade with myself, bitch.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, there should be like a regular
Pokemon
new
Sun and Moon
3DS.
dual pack,
Yeah,
$80.
yeah. Or it's just the
Pokemon Sun
games.
and
It's just the games, not the
yeah,
3DS.
yeah, and the 3DS is $199. What the fuck?
Yeah, and there's no charger. But at least the charger's
Interesting,
like
because
$10 though. So
right. Well, because here's the thing, right? That Pokemon 3DS comes out in October. But Pokemon Moon doesn't come out
so
until
November.
middle of November.
Yeah, they always do that. They're like, oh yeah, get this 3DS before you get the game. Like, no, fuck
Well,
you.
now
What?
I want to now I kind of want to wait and hope that they release a.
They might in Japan.
But at the same yeah, right. But at the same time, if I wait, then everyone's gonna already have played it, beat it, done with it, and then I'll be behind the curve again.
Nah, I'm gonna take my time with it because it's not the same format as the old games. They've actually switched up Sun and Moon. It's
Mm.
not just fight the 8 gyms and go to the Pokemon. Like, it's totally different now. It's like a whole island system, and there's new gangs and noodle things you have to do now. So
I totally thought you were saying noodle things, and I'm like,
I don't
what
know.
the fuck did they do to this game? Noodle things. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
So
completely switched it up.
interesting. Um, well, I'm still excited because I haven't, like I said, remember the last time we talked about Pokemon, I was working my way through fucking Diamond on my original DS.
It's true. It's
Still never beat it.
true.
Still at the final like gym thing, and just like nope. Um, couldn't beat the second gym guy, second like ultimate gym guy. So I just kind of like left it. I'm sure I'll pick it up again, erase the file, start from scratch,
You gotta
not
stop.
beat it again.
You gotta stop doing that.
But it's like you forget where you've been and what you've done, and it's like Zelda, man. You can't put Zelda or Metal Gear Solid would be even worse. Like I probably have to
Oh,
like delete my MGS4 file and just start over. But
I've
the
got.
reality is I'd have to plug in my PS3 to play it, so it's probably not going to happen.
So I can do that easily.
Or like Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, like that's a really good game. And my save file is literally at the final boss. And I was like, this is hard. I'm not going to beat it. I know what happens. Thanks, YouTube. I don't need to feel the accomplishment of beating it myself if I can just watch someone beat it and know that I got almost
Shoot.
all the way there.
Try
It's like
freaking.
running. It's like running, man. It's like I don't need to run a marathon. I've watched people do it every year.
Fuck that. Just go do it in GTA 5.
Right? Fuck it. I do like oh, here's the thing. So I have the Apple Watch, right? And it tracks your
Track your
steps.
steps. Yep.
So this past week I walked 43 miles
Oh, jeez.
and that's only counting when I had the watch on. So like if I didn't have it on or for whatever reason it was like I was charging it at work because I was stupid and didn't plug it in overnight, like it's not counting that. So
Mhm.
it knows I walked at least 43 miles. And pretty much all of that is when I'm at work.
Right.
So that's kind of absurd.
Yeah. A little bit. A little bit.
But that is unfortunately not everything I did at PAX. But I would like to keep this episode to around an hour. And I think because we had some, and you probably will pick up on it at the beginning of the episode, that there were like certain stop cuts because we had some issues with Skype.
Yep.
But you can follow us on Twitter at the DGCast. I am at So After I Said. I also joined the 21st century and got a Snapchat. I don't really use it very much like Instagram, but I suppose if you feel inclined. TheDGCast.com. I've been posting some of the articles about my preview experiences with games at PAX. Feel free to check those out. Obviously, youtube.com/c/thedgcast. In the process of trying to post up videos, or perhaps you're watching the podcast / listening to it on YouTube. Thanks. And twitch.tv/dgcasttv. That's also a thing. This has been episode 75 of the Disconnected Gamers podcast. Again, I just have to say thanks for the people that are still downloading it, still listening to it, still checking out the website, YouTube, Twitch, all that jazz. Because we are super inconsistent with our timing, so it's nice that people are still swinging by to see how things are going.
It's true. That is true.
So, without further ado, this has been a podcast, and we will catch you